Hey everyone, Chris here from the Southwest Center. Wanted to share a short video with you today looking specifically about how we would launch a thinking task in our mathematics classroom. There's some other videos out there that go into Peter Liljedahl's work with the Building Thinking Classrooms book, but really the purpose of this video is to look really at the task itself. We spent some time with Peter last summer in a workshop and really kind of hit home on this topic of this is a difficult balance for teachers because most of the time we're conditioned to, we want to give students a lot of information so that they don't struggle with the task and they have everything they need to be able to get started. Unfortunately, sometimes when we do that, we give too much information, we share too many strategies and too many ideas, and we create this environment where kids just mimic what we did. And that really is counterproductive to the thinking classroom. And so we want students to have enough information to engage in the task, but we clearly don't want to take away the thinking that we want to happen when we put them in their random groups. So the task we're going to use for this video today comes from Peter's first book. It's called The Answers Are. You may or may not be familiar with it, but it's a great task to really get kids to start working with numbers and getting a lot of practice in their fluency and number sense. So with this particular task, we would normally give students 5 answers, and we would write those 5 answers down, and we would have all kinds of strategies to try to come up with how we achieve those answers, right? How we arrive at those answers. But for the purpose of the launch, we're not going to do that. We are going to talk about a couple rules that basically apply to the task that we're doing, and we're going to have students just give us a lot of random answers back, and we're just going to record what they say. So the 2 rules for this task that are important to know is that we have the numbers 1 through 10 here at the top of our white book. We can only use each number one time, so we cannot repeat any of those numbers. And we have 4 operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And those operations all have to be used at least one time each. And that's really it. Other than that, we're just going to listen to what students say, and we're going to write things down. So with those rules in mind, students might give me some answers like, would they want to write an expression that would say maybe 9 minus 1? So I would be writing down what they say, recording some answers that go along with that, and most likely modeling some type of organizational structure that they may or may not use for themselves. That's okay. Let's say they give me an addition problem like 6 plus 7. So like I said before, I'm just writing down what my students say, recording their feedback. When we get to division problem, I may hear something like 10 divided by 2. And for multiplication, let's say they told me 3 times 4. And it may be important at this point to stop and just say, okay, like we've used all 4 operations, we still have 2 numbers left, and let them know that it's okay that we're going to repeat one of those operations. And so in that case, they may say something like, let's do another addition problem and use the 8 and the 5 in an addition problem and come up with 13. So we might revisit really quick at this point and say, have we used all 10 numbers? Have we used all of our operations? Once we know we fulfilled all of our rules, then we're going to kind of stop the conversation and we're going to change the thinking a little bit. What if, instead of us just having a blank slate and being able to write down any expression we want, what if I gave you the 5 answers to begin with? And now, taking those 5 answers, you had to create your own expressions that meet all these rules that still allow us to use all the numbers only one time. So just a way to launch the task, because this is how the task is written in the book, is students are given those 5 answers, but we've modeled it in a completely different way. It should be noted that when we do the launch that our students are standing up, just like the cameras in front of me right now. My students will be standing up around this white book. We'll be having a class conversation. And as soon as we're finished with this, we're going to put them in random groups and we're going to turn them loose and let them start working and thinking with their groups. It also should be noted this should be a relatively short experience. We don't want the launch to be this 20-minute class conversation. Really, the hope is the launch is maybe in the 5-minute range, but keep it pretty brief so that students stay engaged. They have the tools they need to get started, and then they can go work on their own. So I hope this is helpful. As always, if you have any questions, you need any support in your mathematics classroom, we would love for you to reach out to us here at the center. Any of our consultants would be happy to come work with your team. But hopefully this has helped you guys get started. And if you have any questions, reach out and let us know. Thank you.